Okay, hello and welcome to another episode of Arcane Assault. Today we are playing X-Men Mutant Academy 2. Specifically, I'm doing this at the end of my playthrough of the Spider-Man games on the PS1. So first I just need to do this real quick. Select down R2, L1, R1, L2. There we go, fantastic. I'm just going to play this on normal mode because honestly, I don't really know. Anyway. So, first things first, we need to pick our character, and we are going... No, wait. I mean, highlight over Cyclops. So we can play as Spider-Man. Because, obviously, you know, we've been playing Spider-Man games, so I'm going to play this as Spider-Man, and conveniently enough, we also get Beast for Stage 1. Now, I'm going to be totally honest, I do not remember this game very well. I remember owning it when I was a kid. Actually, I think I might have only owned the first one when I was a kid. Either way, I remember these games not being great. Anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that is just the exact same character model from Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro being used here. But hey.
Hello, newsflash. You gotta hit me to beat me.
That sounded like a different VA from the Spider-Man we've heard for the last couple of games. But hey, here we are. To be totally honest, I'm quite glad that I got a character like Beast for Stage 1, because I think there's like 10 stages, and there's a few characters who I feel like I'm going to have a worse time with than others. But, you know, basically, as usual, this is standard, you know, just win 2 rounds and you move on to the next stage. I want to say there's 10 stages, just because that's, you know, a fairly standard number for a fighting game. But I don't actually know. I know that it isn't like Virtua Fighter. I know that I don't have to run the entire roster. And I do remember that is a thing in this game. So you have 3 different supers available to you. So you have 3 supers that each individual meter fills. And then, depending on what the super is, you have an additional kind of set of inputs that you can put in that will then just increase its damage. Okay, at stage 2, we have Rogue. Okay. Rogue was... She was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, right? Yeah, I think she was. I'll be honest, I do not remember a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom 2's roster. To be totally honest, part of me... Like, there was part of me that was sat thinking, why am I not just doing Marvel superheroes? Why am I doing this instead? And, to be totally honest, the only reason I chose to do this over Marvel superheroes is kind of... Okay, that did not as much damage as I thought it would. But yeah, the only reason I picked this over Marvel superheroes was quite simply just the fact that when I initially played through Spider-Man 1 and 2, this was what I did at the end of it. So, you know, just want to keep that consistency going. However, I will do an episode on Marvel superheroes at some point. I also want to do one on X-Men vs. Street Fighter, X-Men Children of the Atom, and obviously all of the Marvel vs. Capcoms at some point. Also 10 out of 10, we narrowly dodged that. So yeah, this game came out around about the same time as Enter Electro, which is why Spider-Man is in it, and I completely whiffed that super. And to be totally honest, I remember playing this when I was a kid, and specifically I played the first one when I was a kid. I don't think I ever actually beat the arcade mode in it, and that's part of why I'm only playing this on normal mode, because I genuinely don't think I can beat this on hard mode. Like, I probably could, but I might be here for like 2 hours, and I don't really want this to be a stupid long episode. But hey, anything could happen because Rogue is apparently throwing hands. I mean, realistically, I could kind of just loop that one combo. It does seem to work pretty well for me. And we just land that throw, that should win. 10 out of 10. Now that I think about it, that's a kind of cool throw.
Weren't counting on my mutant butt-kicking power, were ya?
Okay, so that was Beast for stage 1, Rogue for stage 2, Toad for stage 3, okay. I think in the first one you always go through a set order, because I think in the first one you do fight the entire roster. I'm pretty sure you always start with Cyclops, then you go to Wolverine, then Gambit in the first one. And now that I think about it, this game's soundtrack, it doesn't really seem to have much of one. Or at least it didn't on the main menu. Either way, to be totally honest, one of the things I remember most about this game is Toad having an absolutely ridiculous button. That's like a 17-hit combo on just one button, which is a little bit weird and wacky, but hey, we take out Toad for stage, well, for round 1. I am so bad at words today, but hey, here we are. Also, okay, that was kind of cool looking. Yeah, I'm going to be totally honest, the X-Men, I do not know or remember a massive amount about them, so that's kind of why I'm not really saying a whole lot about them. I am, like, going from what because I have seen the endings for all the characters in this game, I know that Toad is kind of like I know that his ending is basically, he kind of just sits as Magneto's metaphorical lapdog, and he's being attacked by a fly, and he just eats the fly, and that's his ending. The endings in this game aren't great, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, stage 4. Wolverine. I mean, obviously Wolverine, he's kind of a big deal, he's one of the recurring big deal X-Men. So, hopefully we can get through him without too much hassle, but hey, we'll see how this goes. I mean, I am just playing on normal mode, so this should be okay, and we appear to be fighting him on a giant tree stump, okay. I'm sure that all of these locations probably have something to do, probably have some, you know, correlation to the comics, or probably more likely the movie. Because, I'll be totally honest, I don't think I've ever actually seen the early 2000s X-Men movies. If I have, it's been an extremely long time to the point at which I don't really remember them. Like, I know that the third one, like, I remember the third one was 2007, because I think it had a 360 game that I also never played. And, yeah, to be totally honest, the X-Men, I've never been the most familiar with them, probably because historically their movies weren't amazing. Okay, I say that, but I haven't actually seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, and what was the one after it? I think it was Days of Future Past. I did like Days of Future Past, that one was good. Also, weird thing in this game, Sentinel just isn't playable. Maybe it's because Sentinels are huge, maybe that's why. I assume that's the reason as to why Sentinels aren't playable here, because they are, you know, quite large, and I guess we just... Okay, so, let the record show that Wolverine there was knocked out by being bench pressed, not the throw itself. Okay, stage 5, we have Storm. Okay, so I guess we're getting to, like, the serious X-Men now. We started with 2 kind of notable ones. Okay, disclaimer, I have no idea how notable or popular like, the X-Men are within, well, the X-Men themselves. But I know that Wolverine and Storm are, like, 2 very big deals.
Can't we be friends?
Okay. And, to be totally honest, I don't know what Spider-Man's odds would be against the various members of the X-Men, but I feel like against Storm, his odds aren't great. But also, I don't know, comics, anything can happen. And that was a very easy first round. 10 out of 10, that is actually going exceptionally well.
You guys don't fight well solo, do you?
I mean, that's a fair statement from Spider-Man. Just, like, takes down one of the X-Men, hits him with the, well, you guys don't fight too well by yourselves, do you? Also, let's try what this super is. Oh! Oh, that's a counter! Okay, so, I have the Spider Sense as a super, and it looks like it's a counter, and that was a perfect. Storm was nothing there, wow. That went very well. So, on to stage 6 we go, and this is... Cyclops. Okay, so, we've had Beast, Rogue, Toad, Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops. Aside from Toad, this seems like a kind of all-star team. I mean, to be fair, in general, I imagine most of the roster of this game are kind of like an X-Men All-Stars team. And, also, this is the ad stage, as you can tell. Because, yeah, well, there's a Sentinel flying by in the background. Sentinels do exist in this game, they're just not playable. And, okay, Okay, that line sounded more like he did in Spider-Man 1 and 2, so maybe it is the same VA. I don't actually know. And I don't know if... Okay, Cyclops means business. And I'm going to be totally honest, Cyclops never really cared too much about the character, but I do remember he was a go-to character for me to get through arcade mode Marvelous Capcom 2, mostly just because beam supers are insane in Marvel, and I can just spam projectiles and run away like a big hero.
Perhaps more time in the danger room.
Not the squeak as he cleans the visor. That's the biggest insult to the loss. Like, I will take the injury, but the insult... Oh, okay, that was him doing a super. Now I can just... I completely wasted that. That was terrible on my part. I don't even have an excuse. Now, does he go for a punch? No, he does not. Okay. On the plus side, that is a very simple combo that does good damage, so I can kind of just rely on that. And the game doesn't seem to be able to stop me too much about it, so I will take my potential wins where I can get them. However, I think I'm going to have to maybe play a little safe. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Because if I hit him with that web...
Hey, I think we made some real progress here today. I really do.
Yeah, like, if I hit him with the web there... Like, if I web him, he can't move. Oof, and then I get a free combo, basically. And that should land it. Okay, apparently that has a lot more startup frames than I thought it did. That's a ton of damage. I think I lose this one. Okay, yeah, that's one continue. Man, out of all characters, I lost to Cyclops. Okay, look, I know that Cyclops is kind of a big deal, but come on, man, really? Okay. Well, when in doubt, I remember the last time I played this, I kind of just relied on projectiles the entire time, because the web ball does decent damage and comes out incredibly fast. So I remember doing that the last time I played this game, and I am still losing here. Okay, that landed for a good chunk of damage, and that should be enough to kill. No, just short. This is going to be a close one. And I lost at the end, okay. Also, this is definitely like a Days of Future Past stage, because we see the... I assume that's the Empire State Building, not the Chrysler Building. I forget which is which in the background. And there's also the Daily Bugle, so we know this is in New York, because Daily Bugle is on the other side of this stage. And that's the kind of round we are looking for. 10 out of 10, off we go. Oh. But yeah. So, honestly, I feel like Cyclops was kind of noticeably absent in Marvelous Capcom 3. Because obviously, you know, he's the guy shaking hands with Ryu in the first game. And obviously, you know, in 3, I think it was Wolverine who kind of took that up. Like him and Captain America, I guess. Either way, we should now be in a good position to hopefully finish off Cyclops here. Never mind, because I can't land that super to save my life. But I just need one more hit. I just need to hit. There we go. I'm not losing to Cyclops twice. Like, I lose to Magneto twice, I lose to Gambit twice, I lose to Psylocke twice. I'm not losing to Cyclops twice. Okay, so I think Havoc is like Cyclops' brother or something, and they have powers that kind of like balance each other out so they couldn't actually beat each other in a fight or something. Or at least that's as far as I'm aware of them. Obviously, I am not exactly a comic book knowledge person, and I guess we're fighting outside the mansion. Okay, let's just try... Once again, the age-old strategy of, what if I just do the same combo? Okay, that was a kind of sick-looking throw, not gonna lie. But this game doesn't play amazingly, but I'll give it credit where it's due. Some of these throw animations are kinda nice. Like, some of these throws and some of these supers have actually looked kinda cool.
Perhaps you should find your happy place and stay there.
Also, I I know it would have been audible, but yeah, this game's main menu just doesn't have any music. It's really weird. Like, it's weird and unsettling. Because, like, it's a fighting game. Like, music is kind of a huge deal in a fighting game. And that is this fight. Oh, not yet. There we go. Now that fight is over. Okay, so that is stage 7, I think. We fought Beast, Rogue, Toad, Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, Havoc. And now we're fighting Magneto. Okay. Okay. Spider-Man versus Magneto. What a match. What a matchup. Like, you know, we have CVS. That was like the match of the millennium. Now this is the match of the millennium. It really isn't. Oh, I guess we're also fighting on Evil Space Base. Okay, I get that he's on the player 2 side. Like, I get that he's on the player 2 side. But if I'm not playing the character, did we really have to give them the player 2 color? Because purple, like, I don't know, primary color purple Magneto just looks a little bit strange. Same with, like, main color being grey for Cyclops. And the kind of, like, weird shaded, and a kind of shaded green for Storm. Like, it was a little bit strange. Either way, we should be... Okay, that was a pretty cool throw. And I do know that in this game, Magneto does have... I'm pretty sure it's in this one. Magneto has a throw where he basically just does... Where he kind of, like, throws his opponent into the air and then basically does an Izuna drop. I remember that. And that was a very quick and easy fight against Magneto.
Perhaps you should find your happy place and stay there.
Apparently he should find his happy place and stay there. Okay, so, up next we have Gambit, okay? Honestly, if the X-Men come back in the next... If Capcom ever make another Marvel vs. Capcom, I want Gambit to be back in it, because Gambit's super cool, and I think... Okay, full disclosure, he's one of the only characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 I vaguely have any idea how to play, and I just think he's kinda cool. So, yeah, I would love to see Gambit turn up in another Marvel vs. Capcom if they ever bring Marvel vs. Capcom back. Hopefully that collection does well. Speaking of collections, as of the time of me recording this, they announced another one the other day that had, I think it's like CVS 1, CVS 2, I think it was like CVS 1, CVS 2, Capcom Fighting Evolution, Alpha 3 Upper, Rival Schools, Project Justice, CVS 1, CVS 2, Capcom Fighting Evolution, Street Fighter 3 Alpha Upper, Project Justice, Plasma Sword, Nightmare of Bilstein, and Power Stone 1 and 2. At some point, I also still need to do an episode of Arcade Assault on Power Stone 2, which, well, realistically, Power Stone 2 is a very different game from Power Stone 1, and realistically, well, it can't possibly go worse than Power Stone 1 did, because, if you saw the episode of Power Stone 1, it didn't go well. I got stuck there for a very long time. Mostly because Valgus just kind of threw hands. Like, that was a final boss who threw hands, and then I got to the actual proper final boss, and it was kind of a pushover. Okay, up next we have the Juggernaut. Okay, Juggernaut seems like he would be a boss character. Like, I think I must be near the end now. Although, if I'm fighting Juggernaut as a boss, that's a little bit weird, because I fought Magneto earlier. And realistically, if you're thinking of the X-Men, I think it would make more sense for Magneto to be the boss. He's Magneto. And I don't know why I said it like that. I will say, I do appreciate how Juggernaut kind of just crashes onto the stage. That's a good little detail. Also, of course, because this is a fighting game, Juggernaut is just as susceptible to getting hit and launched, just like every other character. However, now, don't get me wrong, I know Spider-Man is a very capable character. I don't think that's how that would actually work.
You guys don't fight well solo, do you?
Like, I know that he'd be able to, you know, kind of web Juggernaut up, probably, and keep him from moving for a bit, but I don't imagine he'd be able to kind of, like, blast him up into the air. I don't imagine a launcher would be working too well on the Juggernaut. But hey, I'm not going to complain, because that's working, and that did not auto-correct my direction for that, but we should be okay. Here, and now that should kill if it lands. That probably, no, yep, there we go, 10 out of 10, we win. And was that the final stage? That's the real question here. I don't think... I think that was the last stage. Because it must be loading a thing. So yeah, Spider-Man's ending in this game is just an ad for Spider-Man 2 to enter Electro. And also, I would quite like to just take a moment to note how in that little trailer ending for him there, when it showed the footage for like all of the bosses, he was just getting destroyed. Like, he was getting hit by all of those bosses. He was nearly dead in the Sandman one there. But hey, with that, we've now successfully managed to make our way through X-Men Mutant Academy 2. To be totally honest, I feel like this is one of those games where the jump between, like, normal and hard mode is absolutely ridiculous. So I'm very okay with just playing this on normal mode. We managed to get through... Sorry. I can now bring up the thing to say, like, how many times did I lose? Who did I lose to? We only lost for once. We only lost to Cyclops. That one's gonna stick with me for a while. But with that, we are officially done with this. I'm just gonna let the credits roll out, and credits roll through, I guess, and kind of just ramble on for a little bit. So yeah, this game had a good few characters. For an X-Men fighting game, I think it gets most of the notable cast in. I think Phoenix might be missing in this one, but otherwise, I think it has a lot of the notable ones that are probably prevalent in the comics and or were going to be prevalent in the movie. Because when this was coming out, the movie was in development, I think. Like, the movie was about to come out, or very soon after. Like, the movie had either just come out or was coming out very soon after this. I don't know the exact release date off the top of my head, obviously. But I think, you know, it makes perfect sense. Like, hey, these characters are in the movie, throw them in a game, we can now... And obviously, if I go into the Cerebro thing, it will also show just, like, little things like, hey, he has some kind of movie pictures and kind of stills from the movie. So, that's a cool little thing that they added. Also, there is a second secret fighter in this game. I am not going to be beating arcade mode with them. Because if I wanted to, I could go and play as Professor Xavier. Yeah, we aren't going to be doing that. Oh no, wait, Phoenix isn't here. So the full roster is Spider-Man, Professor X, Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, Gambit, Phoenix, Beast, Mystique, Toad, Sabretooth, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Havoc, Forge, Psylocke, Juggernaut, and Rogue. Now, I have one main request. Nightcrawler, get him in Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, if Nightcrawler ever makes it in Marvel vs. Capcom, he will probably be on my main team. Because I don't know, maybe it's just because I saw a little bit of the X-Men cartoons and stuff when I was a kid. Nightcrawler was always one of my big favourites. Anyway, with that, I am now just going to end off today's episode here, and we are now also done with the Spider-Man games for now. I might come back and have a quick look at the one on the GBA, But for now, I'm gonna, for now, I'm gonna be finishing off my time playing Spider-Man games, which is a bit weird that the last one was a X-Men game, realistically. But hey, I'm going to end off this video here. As always, feel free to leave a comment, click any buttons down below if you feel so inclined, and I will hopefully see you all next time, well, tomorrow for more Pokemon, and then on Monday for, I don't actually know, whatever I'm doing to replace this. Okay, thanks for watching. Later.